p.m. This is the February 9th, 2016 meeting of the Hanson Board of Selectmen. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public announcements and upcoming meetings. The open burning season has begun and will run until April 30th. Permits are available now at the fire headquarters, 505 Liberty Street, daily from 9 to 5. The cost of a permit is $20, payable by check or money order, made payable to the town of Hanson. No cash will be accepted. The town clerk would like to remind citizens that February 10th is the last day to register to vote in the upcoming presidential primary on March 1st. Citizens can register at the town clerk's office during regular business hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. A resident can also register online at www.sec.state.mass.us or by mail-in registration. There will be a special voter registration session held on Wednesday, February 10th, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the registrar's office at Town Hall. Any resident who will be 18 years of age by March 1st is eligible to register to vote by February 10th. The 10th Annual Kids Fitness Festival will be held on February 27th from 11 to 2 at the Whitman-Hanson Regional High School. There will be free healthy food samples, a DJ, a dance, karate, and cheerleading performances, a moonwalk, obstacle courses, an appearance from Kung Fu Panda, and much, much more, all for $5 per person. Proceeds from this event will benefit the Panther Education Trust. Please check out our website at www.panthereducationtrust.org for more information about us or about the fun family event. Upcoming meetings: Town Administrator Search Committee, Wednesday, February 10th at 6:30 p.m. Community Preservation Committee, Wednesday, February 10th at 7 p.m. Selectmen, Tuesday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. Town Administrator Search Committee, Wednesday, February 24th at 6:30 p.m. Town Administrator Search Committee, Thursday, February 25th at 6:30 p.m. That concludes the announcements and the list of upcoming meetings. Next on the agenda is the Town Administrator report, and for that, we will turn to our Town Administrator, Mr. LaCamera.
It's this time of the year, and, snow emergency and snow and ice budgets and so forth. We're not 100% out of money, at this point, but we're required to, the Board of Selectmen is required to approve deficit spending, so this is a pretty standard thing that happens almost every year, so I'd ask the board to approve this.
Here's the letter on February 8th to myself, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen. This is from Robert F. Brown, Jr., Highway Surveyor. Dear Mr. Young, Town of Hanson Highway Department snow account has been expended. Therefore, I am requesting the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee to declare a snow emergency as stated in Chapter 44, Section 3D of the Massachusetts General Laws. This snow emergency is needed not only for future sanding and plowing, but to restock salt and sand for snow and ice removal. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. So I would entertain a motion to declare an official snow emergency under Chapter 44, Section 31D of the Massachusetts General Laws.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Quick question, is there an amount or no?
No.
There's
That's
no,
not later? Okay,
Open
gotcha.
account.
Yep,
it's open.
open account. Good.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I got notification from the superintendent's office today that the ratification of the collective bargaining unit at teachers is scheduled for February 24th at 16, at the next school committee meeting. Please be advised that they anticipate the school committee will be voting on the ratification of the unit, the collective bargaining unit for the Whitman Hanson Regional School District. Please forward this information to the regional representative for the town of Whitman and Hanson for that person to attend the meeting. I'm not aware that there is a regional representative for the town for the negotiations of the contract. Are you? Unfortunately, Mary's not here, so I don't know.
Regional representative.
That would be part of the negotiations. Was there any ever a vote by the board to assign a person that would participate in any of the negotiations?
I never even knew that a member of the Board of Selectmen ever participated in negotiations with the Whitman Hanson Regional Educators Association.
It's not necessary. They've asked both
This
towns.
is something new, because I've never heard of
Yeah,
it before.
Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to ask Mary, because, as you know. So I don't know if the board wants to appoint somebody or not have somebody go at all. You don't have to. It's up to you.
When is it going to be?
February 24th,
February 24th, right?
Which is the next school committee meeting.
which is the next school committee meeting. But you'll probably be discussing the budget too, so.
Oh, yeah.
Can I
Okay.
nominate Bruce Young?
Well, I was gonna nominate Jim McGann to,
Dude, I'm
Represent
tied up
the-
on minutes and everything else. It's not gonna happen.
but you're gonna be at the school committee meeting anyways.
Probably not. I swear, I've got,
Well, you enjoyed the last one, didn't you?
well, unfortunately, as much as I love this job, I have another job too that's calling me, that's tying me up.
What time is
hugely.
that going to be, did they say?
I imagine it's 7 o'clock.
Okay.
You'll be there till 11.
I mean, Bruce, you're familiar with the contract and everything. All you gotta do be there is to ratify
Yeah,
yes or
actually,
no.
you can actually see last year's contract online. It's
Right.
on there.
I mean, you're the most one out of all of us, right? That's
I
qualified.
can't see how, are you there to help, are you there to ratify the contract and sign it? Something that you never even negotiated or voted on? That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I don't know, I mean, if I was the representative and I was gonna go to the school committee meeting, I'd like a copy of the contract before I went,
Yes.
so I know what I'm reading.
Oh, there's the, what do they call it? The,
Ratifying.
The ratification.
Ratification.
there's the regional, what do they call that person that I am? They just
Yeah,
assigned
the
me to?
regional representative for
Regional
the
rep.
town of Hanson.
That sounds like a chairman of the board.
Do we know if Whitman has one?
Come on.
They just got it today, too.
They just got it today.
I will be meeting with town administrator Frank tomorrow, actually.
I should,
Actually, I'll send a letter to the region and ask them for a copy of the contract so I can review it prior to
If
my
they're
attendance
asking
at
you
the
to
meeting.
vote and prove it,
I
yeah.
should caution you, Mr. Chairman, that you are committed on that evening with the town administrative search committee.
Oh, that's right, that's a Wednesday, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you like to be assigned to that duty? Or would you?
No, thank you.
Would you like to be assigned to that
I
duty?
have trouble keeping my lunchtime going in that school.
Nobody has to go.
Just
It's
request,
not a requirement.
just that meeting be moved. Right, isn't there two of them? There's one on the 23rd, isn't there? You got one on the 24th and on the 25th.
Yeah, he's right.
So just do the
Why do you have
25th
two meetings within a
in a
day?
row.
Huh?
You
We
have a
have
meeting
one-
on the 24th and the 25th
You have
in
a
the same
TA
week.
search committee on the 24th and the
Is that a
25th.
mistake?
Oh, no, that's that's on the 24th, right,
Yeah,
Rich?
20,
the school.
24th.
Well, we get two meetings
Wait a minute,
because
what date is that? That's the 20,
gonna
yeah,
be
you have the
holding-
search committee on that.
we get two nights in a row, Kenny, because we're going to be interviewing candidates. We
Oh,
want to keep it
wow.
in sync.
So that's important, you have to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that.
There'll be 2 nights in a row we're interviewing
Well, why don't
candidates.
we, everybody think about it, and if we have to make a decision, we're meeting again on the 23rd, we can, we can recommend somebody that night.
Maybe we can
I'll
request,
tell you what,
we'll
I'll,
request a copy for the, copy of the contract. so that-
contract.
So
Yeah.
that we can review it prior to attending.
The representative can review.
Yeah,
I'll make an option to go. I'll go on the 24th.
No.
I thought because you were having 2 meetings, it makes sense that if you're gonna interview candidates, so.
yeah.
So I would like very much to be the regional representative for the town of Hanson.
I'd like to make a motion to
you
approve
would. I know
Selectman
I do.
McGann to be our regional representative to the Whitman-Hanson School Committee.
Second. Okay, motion and a second.
You okay with that, Jim?
I am, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favor?
Carol, you okay back there? I just heard you moan.
I'm gonna give you a copy.
Carl's moaning
I
back there?
think Jim will represent the board quite well, so thank you, Jim.
I don't think any of the members are gonna be able to go to this, but maybe Dawn. But the Old Colony Planning Council is inviting to participate in the Old Colony Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. And that happens to be on February 24th at 6:30
A lot of meetings that night.
at
Boy, there's a
the
lot of
Whitman
stuff
Cancer
going on.
Office. So, anybody interested in going, I mean,
I won't be there.
I know.
I'll be here.
Jim
Jim
will
won't
be
be
there.
Sorry. Somebody else.
So it's just informational. You don't have to go, but
Bicycle and pedestrian
Same day.
connectivity and safety study. Wow.
okay. I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about the presentation on the school budget, but I can see that it's already on the agenda below, so I'll skip by that. The capital plan, I did talk to the business manager today about, where we were and getting an update on the items that would follow up the meeting.
Yes, sir.
And she was going to talk to Ernie about it, and she understands that we need it as soon as possible, because we've got to know what we're going to do, for town meetings. So I did follow up on that, and
Did they come back, Rich, with the number on the pond roof or no?
no, they did not.
I know that they did find water in the insulation, as they last said that they were going to, on, I think it was 1,000 square feet out of 12, which wasn't too bad. But the infrared, their infrared study found that much. So,
Okay, she said she'd get back to me tomorrow, so I'll let you know. The Jeez, I left it upstairs. The Recreation Commission has asked me to approve a contract for some dancing classes and so forth. And it's 4 Fridays in the month of February. And they asked me to sign it, and I feel the board ought to sign it, not me, because I have some concerns about some of the rental agreements and also some of the contracts. And I know this is only for, a 4-week period, but, we get 20% of every participant, which is only $10 a participant, which is not gonna be a lot. And it's commitment for every Friday night for 4 weeks from 7 to 9.
2 hours.
I don't have any problem of approving it this time, but I do think that these fees need to be looked at, because when you look at something like this in the month of February, and you can open a building, for 2 hours, and, February is gonna be very cold, as we know, we need to look at it, because we're not making any money on it, for sure. I mean, it's, but that's up to the board.
do we have details? Is it somebody within the town that's holding it for other town
It is,
people?
somebody that lives in town, yep,
And they're holding it for other town people in that town too?
anybody that wants to.
Anybody that wants to?
If you want to learn swing,
Public,
you take your wife down, you can learn swing.
for $10.
Yeah,
Rich, what's
The
the
town would get 2.
yeah.
what's the policy in terms of having you approve or us approve?
Well, the
Is that
policy
part of
is
the
that,
policy?
that policy normally is that they ask the town administrator to approve the agreement.
He's not comfortable with it, so he's asking us if we want to approve it, right?
You know, like I
What
said,
normally, what fee did they normally charge for that?
well, they've been charging 20% of the participant fee. So if you participate and it's $10, then we get $2.
Yeah.
So if you have 20 people that are going to participate, then we wind up with $40.
So the dance instructor, he pays whatever is he renting? Is
I was
he,
gonna say this, so there's no rental, it's just that
Just-
20%.
He's going to, that's the fee.
so they get 20% as the rental?
We do.
No,
yeah,
the town
commission-
does.
The town does. It's $10 a person, we
Yeah.
get 2, he gets 8.
All right.
Yeah.
So did that money go into their, goes into their enterprise account?
It does.
Okay, the camp.
I thought the policy, Rich, was that the board recreation department votes on it, and then they just run it by us.
They,
Not for approval.
not on a contract, this is a contract.
You have to sign
We're
a
asking you to
contract
sign
with
a
the person.
contract.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't have any problem, with it right now, but I do think it needs to be looked at. Nope, here it is, I have the contract.
You're saying-
Well, an agreement, that whole thing needs to be looked at, but
Well, yeah, you have to redefine that position.
think
over Nicole's position, I think.
I think that, for right now, where it's February, we'll probably agree with it, but absolutely has to be looked at. Because you're talking, we're getting $20 for heat, and that's if 20 people show up.
Here's the agreement, right.
We get less than that, Kenny, right? If it
Yeah,
depends.
I mean, it's, Rich is right, it does cost a lot of money.
Maybe they could have it here in the board of selectmen room instead.
Roger Leary.
The thing too is that,
The chairs out of here? Not enough room.
I still haven't got a copy of the whatever vote you decide, you need a copy of the insurance, and then we're gonna need a release from anybody that
know him.
participates.
Right, yeah, we get a release from if you go in there and you pay the $20, you've got to
Yeah.
sign a release.
Yeah, just like a sports team,
Yeah.
they have to carry that, that's very interesting.
Motion,
So if
The
the
guy
board,
teaches you a dance move and you can't make it, and you fall backwards and break your leg.
Then they're covered,
I'll make the motion.
and they can't sue the town.
Yeah.
so if the board wants to approve it for me to sign, I'll gladly sign it.
Motion to allow Rich to approve the contract for the Fridays in February dance class.
Of this year.
This year, 7 to 9.
I'll second that motion.
Is that just for February, or how long?
Yeah, the
is-
dates are right on there, it's for the month of
All right.
February,
Yeah,
it's starting this Friday night, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You seconded?
3 weeks, yeah.
Who seconded it? You, Danny?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Kenny did.
Any further
He
discussion?
was quicker than I was.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Go for Rich.
Okay, thank you. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if it's proper now to bring up something, but I was thinking about something. The past week, all the people collecting social security didn't get a raise this year. So,
We're
I didn't get a
gonna
raise.
discuss it in executive session.
okay,
You know what? I work for Corporal World and I didn't get a raise either.
okay.
Okay,
Killing me, Donnie.
Better.
No, it's not.
next on new business, report on school committee budget meeting on February 3rd, 2016. I think you were there, Jim,
Yes, sir.
and I was there, and Rich was there. And,
So we don't have to do any minutes of any kind.
no,
I wasn't sure if Bill was there.
And,
Okay.
the budget section of the meeting started with they had a representative there, I can't remember her name. Remember her name, Rich? They had a lady,
King, Melissa King?
Melissa King.
Yeah.
Who's a representative of she represents the Department of Secondary and Elementary and Secondary Education, correct? And of course, they're in charge of, she's one of these she's an analytical person, and she's one of the ones that
Oh, okay.
works up the formula for each city and town in the Commonwealth, and they come up with a foundation budget, and that each town, well, they figure each town by basically enrollment, but there's several other factors that go into it, to come up with a foundation budget for education for each individual school system. And then based on that foundation budget that they can come up with, they also come up with a minimum requirement that the towns should, the town should give towards the education of that school, towards the education of the school system. And under Chapter 70, if the two towns don't come up with that, you can actually withhold Chapter 70 money from those towns. I don't know of any town that's being withheld from. We meet it, Whitman meets it. So we do meet the minimum requirement. In fact, in the cases, we actually go over the minimum requirement. But there's also a target share figure. It's a lot easier to explain how they come up with the minimum requirement than it is to explain how they come up with the target share. Did you figure out how they come up with that target share? Because I had problems with it.
Oh, it was complicated.
It was very, very complicated. And if you looked around the room, there were very few people that actually got it. Did you get it, Jim?
It was exceptionally complex.
Exceptionally complex. And so, what they've been throwing out there that I've been hearing is that if we come up with a target share, correct me if I'm wrong, Rich, what I've been hearing was if we come up and meet our target share, I don't know how far we are behind what we should come up with,
$3 million.
about $3 million. To meet that target share, we'll get extra money in Chapter 70 aid, okay? But there was nothing in the forms and paraphernalia that she gave out, or anything on the website that really says that, under the Department of Education, Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. So I asked a question to her. I says, if the town of Hanson and Whitman come up with their target share and meet their target share, will you
How much
start,
more Chapter
will
70
you
money?
start giving us more than $20 or $25 per student? And she started to go into this complex answer, which started out as, well, if your enrollment starts to increase, and she started, if you have more low-income people, and I says, well, what if everything remains equal, and our enrollment neither goes up or goes down, all right? We don't have more low-income people, or more non-English speaking people, and everything remains the same, but we meet our target share, will we get more money? And what did she say, Rich?
No.
And so somebody on the school committee asked, so what does the target share represent? She says it's more of a goal. Isn't that what she said?
Yes.
It's more of a goal than it is anything.
It's where we want to be. That's what they said.
You know,
For
it's where
months.
you should be. And the funny thing about it is when you looked at the target share, they have the information in there, is that Hanson actually should be meeting around 52% of what its target share should be meeting, but Whitman was less.
Yeah.
So Whitman was down around 46 or 47. So I'm saying to myself, boy, that's strange, because we have a lower population, okay? We have
Should be the other way around.
92% of our property values are basically residential. So all but 8% of the tax burden in this town is on the residential taxpayers. And of course, Whitman has a heck of a lot more than commercial property than we do. I'm assuming, you just drive down Route 18, right there. So, and yet that's the way it comes out with these analysts up at the Department of Education working on that thing. So that was a real head scratcher, that one, just to look at that. And they figure each town separately, and then they add the two together to come up with what our target share should be. But of course, in order to meet our target share, and coincidentally, after that whole scenario on the explanation of Chapter 70 was over, we went into the school budget, and the school budgets got passed out. And the superintendent presented her budget in detail. And they presented, basically, their level-funded operational budget, which would not either increase or decrease, would lead all of the programs that they have in place and all of the personnel that they have in place, and it would increase only by the amounts that they had no control over, by an inflationary effect. And that came out to like $1 million, a little over $1 million more than last year. And then on top of that, she presented the things on top of that that the school department would need in order to have a student success budget. And some of the things that were in there, and that was gonna be, by coincidence, $3 million more, which was precisely the amount that we're under our target share. Okay? All right?
It should note, Bruce, it's not only the $1 million increase, it's $3 million on top of that.
Yes, so the
it's
1
four-
million,
it's
$1
$4
million that it
million
would normally, that we would normally have if everything remained equal,
Okay,
and it was $1 million on top of that $45 million budget. This would be $3 million in addition to that.
in addition to the one.
Yeah. So if everything got approved by the school committee, you'd have an increase in your budget this year of around $4 million plus.
I mean, the good news is they mentioned the fact that that number they're working on, right? It's, the $3 million is not fixed. These, I think it was page 52 in the school budget that gave us the student success items that they want. They
You
want
want-
a total
you
of 32 items.
You want to read some of those off, because that's kind of interesting what they are.
So I think this is what you might want to talk to about the people here. That was our target share amount, how much we're less by, so forth, right?
Oh, yeah.
So some of the items that they're requesting, that's part of the student success budget, which is the $3 million override. And again, this number is subject to be adjusted. It was $520,000 for a class size reduction, 8 full-time employees.
Class increase? What is it?
Right, it's called meet elementary class size targets.
Oh, yeah. They're
Okay.
23 to 1 now. They didn't say what they would get down to or what they felt an ideal class size was,
That's correct.
but they want to decrease class size. So
They
that,
didn't give us the details in terms of which schools or anything else, correct?
but it's like a paradox, because Hanson has had declining enrollment for the last 6 years.
Mm.
We've lost about over 300 kids in the last 6 years. So normally, when you have a declining enrollment, the amount of teachers either stays the same or goes down. Now, in this case, we've had a declining enrollment, and they're adding how many, they want to add how many teachers?
8.
So they want to add 8 teachers, okay? Which is kind of a paradox, because you wouldn't think it would work that way.
They want to go to full-time kindergarten, which would be $400,000. Restore library program, they put 5 here, I think it means 5 positions, $350,000. Elementary science curriculum, that's called No Atom, grades 1, 4, and 5 for $240,000. Instructional materials of $206,000, which is basically the upgrade of
New books.
textbooks, new books, so forth, yep. $140,000 for 2 social workers, one in Hanson and one in Hanson pre-K to 6. It says here, coordinate with an NRC grant, so maybe they're looking for some money from there. Reading specialist for $140,000, one at Hanson, one at Whitman. I believe it was at the middle schools in both of them. Math specialist, also $140,000, same thing, one at middle school in Hanson, one at middle school in Whitman. $130,000 for foreign languages. I forget what the MS stands for, I'm sorry. Expand the foreign language program 1 year at the middle school, right here. Foreign, I forget what the MS stood for, but I know it's a math, maybe it's a specialist. $110,000 for professional development, reduce cuts in PD to improve the enhancement instruction innovation trends, PD standing for professional development. I don't want to labor too long for people. $85,000 as a data specialist. This is education services for utilization of student data systems to improve instruction. $70,000 for foreign language at the high school. $65,000 art elementary. Music elementary is another $65,000. This is to expand those programs. Wellness elementary at $65,000. Fine arts at the high school, increased secondary arts options at $65,000. Music at the high school district, $65,000, restore a position that was cut in 2007. $75,000 for safety and security resources, which is add, replace cameras, card access, be safe programs. I talked with Bob Hayes on that. We thought maybe that might be taken out, that might be accommodated through capital. District security of $45,000, expand capacity to protect students, staff, and capital resources. And then there's the duty aids of $24,000, and that's 3 of them, to improve student safety and supervision at Duval, Conley, and Indian Head. So the total full-time employees they're looking for is 32, which totals the $3 million. Again, page 52 in the student success budget, which I believe is online too.
Oh, yeah.
This is the handout. that,
Oh, yeah, here's the
Melissa-
handout that shows the,
And this is the target.
Yeah.
Mark, this is the,
Hanson's target share of contribution. This is for fiscal year 17. They're saying it should be 9,113,680, okay?
mhm.
And the target local share would be 53.01%, okay? And Whitman's is 10,940,580, and of that share, they're looking, Whitman's target share of 44.23.
Right.
So you get 53 for Hanson and 44.23 for Whitman.
Hanson enrollment's down.
Yeah.
Did you
And,
ask them why?
Why the enrollment's down, or
No,
why the
no, no,
numbers
no.
are the way they are?
Percentages?
All I can tell you is that it's based on the foundation budget, the local contribution, and the target amounts that they want. Local contribution
That's
is
how they come
usually,
up with those numbers.
I believe that's correct.
well, there's an income percentage. They look at the total
That's right.
income for the town as opposed to the total income in Whitman.
And property values.
And property values, right.
Property values.
Right, because local contribution is just that, property values, your income, and municipal revenue.
And then they
growth
multiply that
factors.
times 1.4701%, you know.
Yep.
These are analytical numbers to come up with this. Then they take the equalized valuation of each town and multiply those times 0.3792 to come out to a local effort from property wealth. So local effort from property wealth and a local effort from a local income to come up with a combined effort yield of 9,113,680. And of that 9,113,680, we should be at 53% of that.
Mhm.
So don't ask me where those percentages come from, because I don't have a clue.
Just a couple of things. The first thing he was talking, Bruce was talking about the state aid. Melissa King said that one of the primary reasons we won't get any more state aid is because we are already $2.6 million over what they should be giving us. So it'd be a long time before we reach the next plateau for them to give us more state aid, with having to do with students and so forth. So we're gonna be continuing to get the $20 to $25 a student that's happened over the last 3 years, which is not a significant amount of money. It's about $80,000 this coming year. So that fact is important, which means that when you look at the funding of this potential $3 million, it's gonna fall back on the taxpayers, of Hanson. Just to note, on the $1 million increase on the level funded budget, I did talk to the business manager today, about, what makes up that $1 million, and of course, the majority of it has got to do with step increases and cost of living increases with the budget, with the teachers' contract, the contracts, not just the teachers, there's other contracts as well. There's a 10% increase in the transportation costs, which was presented, at the meeting.
Mm.
And there was also a 10% increase in the outside service that they do for janitorial, service, as well. I think it was $130,000, if I remember. And then the pension costs, have gone up, and then, of course, the health insurance costs. So
Yeah, I couldn't
that,
figure out the health insurance.
those $1 million money does not include any new staff or anything like that. That's just to keep things
The way we have.
the way we have it right now. So anything above the $1 million, now, I haven't looked at all the numbers yet, we may be able to support that level funded budget. We certainly cannot support an additional $3 million, having to do with this targeted share. I mean, that definitely would be an override, if that's the case. I mean, our share would be 41% of that $3 million, so that's a significant amount of increase. What I worry about is that, okay, even if the override passes, whatever the people decide, that next year's budget will be a $50 million budget. So you take a $50 million budget and you get a 3% increase, that's another $1.5 million the following year. And 41% of that, roughly, in our case, is, $600,000. Now, a town like Hanson,
Can't afford it.
under 2.5, can only go up $434,000. So that absorbs everything. That's the discussion that needs to be made. Don't look at it as to, what are we doing this year? No, what are we doing over the next 3 to 5 years
Oh,
to
yeah.
maintain what we got? That's a serious problem. Anyways,
And some of those things are uncontrollable, like.
I agree.
The group insurance is going up 10% this year. That's why I couldn't figure out her group insurance was only going up way less than 10%, because it's like $3.8 million for, just for the employees, the current employees alone. And so if that went up 10%, it would be 380,000. But it wasn't 380,000, it was just a little over 100,000.
Don't know.
But
Didn't ask that question.
I didn't ask that question as to why that
Anyways.
wasn't going up.
Well,
Because ours is going up 100, ours is like 10%, which is
Ours is
130,000.
going up 12%. They're gonna vote on it,
Oh,
what's today?
so it's going up 12%,
Yeah, looks that way.
yeah,
That's what the finance committee of the Mayflower Group is recommending.
yeah.
Now, the communities may disagree with that, but that's what's being voted on.
now, it's important to note, too, that our 3 representatives were there, right? State
Yes,
and they filed a letter to up the per pupil expenditure to 50, from $25 to $50. It's not probable that it'll go anywhere, but they're trying.
That'll only, instead of
$200,000?
being 80,000, Jim, it'll be 200,000. Every little bit helps,
I know,
but that's not significant.
I know.
yeah, it's not significant on a $46 million budget.
Anyways,
So that was it. So you got a copy of the budget there, right?
Yeah.
I got a copy of it. I'm sure we can get a few more copies if anyone would like one. Did you get one, Bill? Copy of the budget?
No, I didn't.
there's one in my office if anybody wants to borrow it.
So the next school committee meeting is the 24th. You already said.
Correct.
So, like I said, that $3 million isn't written in stone. It's whatever gets discussed and whittled down over the next 2 or 3 meetings at the regional high school. And then the regional high school will vote to certify the budget, and at a later date, they'll vote to certify the assessments to the 2 towns. And the assessment is what we vote, the one-line assessment is what we voted at the town meeting, ourselves and Whitman. First week in May. Okay. New business, resignation and appointments. Final Plymouth County Hospital reuse. Robert Overholzer, we received a letter from the Board of Appeals, and they've selected Robert Overholzer to represent the board on the Plymouth County Reuse Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to appoint Robert Overholzer. Any further discussion?
What question, where does he live? What street? Do we know?
High Street. Lives up by the water tank. I know him personally.
Does that represent a
I've already
problem?
talked with him. We were supposed to have a meeting yesterday, but due to the weather conditions, it was postponed until, I'll have to get another meeting next week.
I don't think it's a, conflict, but it certainly doesn't help.
What's that?
The fact that he lives on High Street and that he's appointed onto the board for Plymouth County Hospital,
Where in relation to the hospital does he live? Right behind it?
do you know?
In front of it, in front of the water tank.
I don't know how that would,
I mean, he's a chairman of the, Board of Appeals. and you
Board
need-
of Appeals.
You need
right?
somebody from Board of Appeals when you start talking about hacking up that property.
Oh, I agree, but I think it might pose an issue possibly, no? We have to entertain it, right, Kenny, whether we like it or not. If he lives across the street from the property that's gonna be in discussion, is it a possibility that there could be a conflict there?
could we vote to approve it pending
Pending,
clarification by town council?
Sure.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, Jim.
Yeah, I'm not an attorney, I couldn't tell you what represents an abutter. Okay, and whether him being an abutter of the property would be any kind of a conflict with him serving on this committee and
So,
making recommendations on how to proceed with to the selectmen on how to proceed. Because he's not making the final decision.
no, I know, he's working off of 3, I don't think
Right.
it's gonna be a big deal.
He definitely would have a problem if it goes to the ZBA for approval, because he isn't a butter. He'd have to excuse himself.
Okay, we'll get clarification on that. Does you want to vote, change the motion to make it pending?
Well,
yeah, change the motion pending on the, check on Bob Overhauser as being in conflict.
Yeah.
second that.
Okay.
He's directly across the street, Don?
Pardon?
Is it directly across the street from it?
No, he lives on the same side,
Okay,
next to the Bonnie house, actually.
okay, I know where it is.
No, the Streeter house.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. All right, all those in favor? Unanimous vote.
I mean, no offense, next time we should have the address, right? Okay.
Accept the resignation of Michael McLeod from the Town Administrator Search Committee.
So moved with regret.
He sent a letter saying, due to personal and family reasons, he hereby submits his resignation from the Hanson Town Administrator Search Committee. Michael H. McLeod, Highland Terrace.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Second with regret.
All those in favor? Unanimous vote.
Bruce, can I ask a quick question? How does that impact the voting of that committee?
It won't impact us.
Is it gonna be tied now, or no?
Yeah, but I don't anticipate any tie votes there.
Okay.
Shouldn't be a problem. Status of statement of interest on the MSBA McQuon School. I checked with,
Oh, I did too.
oh, you did, okay, no,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Rich.
No, go ahead, you check.
Yeah, I got an email from Dr. Ruth Gilbert Whitner. She said that they were in the process of finalizing their, accelerated repair for the Duval School. And then once they completed that, they would start on the McQuon and be in contact with us. And they have until the second week in April.
They told me that too.
Yeah.
As long as we stay within the dates, then I think that's fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna include that in each meeting so I can update that, just to make sure that it's,
By the way, that would be a full core SOI, correct?
it would be a core SOI as opposed to an accelerated repair. Yeah, so that's the story with that. All right. So we're up to the approval of the minutes for December 17th, 2015.
Motion to approve minutes for December 17th, 2015.
Second,
Motion to second to approve the minutes of December 17th, 2015. Has everyone had a chance to look at them? Any problems?
That was a Camp Corn meeting. I don't know who took minutes.
Jim.
Jim did.
Boy, those are long minutes. Well, look at that.
Very thorough, I said.
Okay,
I tried to be. Sometimes that's my problem.
okay. We had a motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous vote.
Motion to approve the minutes of January 26th, 2016.
second,
This is kind of sick. Oh, here it is. Let me just see here. qualified, would like to see the people on the board. Certain ability to. 2 to 2, Scott, Young abstained, yep, okay, I see that.
It's there.
All right. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous vote. Okay. Committee reports. Monpont Pond Committee.
We haven't met. I got the meeting here. It's changed from the 11th to the 18th of this month.
Okay. The Indian Head and McQuon Priority Repair Committee, will be preparing some articles, proposed articles to be submitted to the Selectmen for approval at a town meeting. I think I discussed those at the last meeting.
Yes.
And we'd also had the school committee in, some members of the, what's the name of that committee? We're here.
What, the school, from the
The committee
facilities?
you used to be on.
Yeah, the
Facilities
facilities.
Committee was here, along with Dr. Ruth Gilbert Whitner. Bob Hayes was here, and the business manager was here. We talked about the SOI for the McQuon, and where they were going with that. And we're gonna be meeting again in February, because we'll have the updates on what those, and some more firmer figures on the 3 articles that we're gonna recommend to be presented to the town meeting.
I think one of the biggest ones was the McQuon roof,
McQuon School roof, yes.
right?
The original roof is on that building, the original tar and gravel roof. It's never been replaced. It has been patched quite a few times, though, not very successfully.
So hopefully we'll have some numbers up and be able to put together an article, well, the school committee
So
will,
we'll meet next Monday.
Yeah.
for that repair,
Monday's a holiday.
right?
Okay, yeah.
President's
Yes, Don?
I should have abstained from the 17th because I wasn't here for the minutes of the meeting.
Okay.
You gotta change that vote to
Yeah,
I'll change
He's
it.
already posted it.
put him in as
Rich has.
not voting.
abstained.
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, we probably could change it, yeah.
What do you, tell me which one you change it?
Maybe change it to Tuesday.
Keep the record straight.
We didn't meet this week.
Yeah.
I have to just check with everyone.
Yeah. Tuesday, we don't have a select,
Okay.
a selectmen's meeting?
Mhm.
Okay, good catch.
Oh, right,
Okay, Highway Building Committee.
Yes, we had a meeting with the GEI representative, Matt O'Neill, Mr. LaCamera present, and Mr. Mitchell. And the discussion was inquiring of them to see if there might be some additional property available for the site where the proposed highway building is going to be. Matt indicated to us that he would reach back to the Hubble, which is the parent company of it, to see what they had, what their interest might be in maybe giving us more property. He did discuss a time frame that they have. They're still working diligently with the Army Corps of Engineers and all the regulatory agencies to clean up the adjacent property, which is Fish and Wildlife. He indicated that the regulatory people were pretty much, I shouldn't use the word happy, but they were aware, and they were happy with the way the progress has been, and the site that we're getting is considered a clean site currently. So that was a good thing, and that he would get back to us as far as the what Hubble had to say about, I guess, getting more property. And we did hear back from them. Rich, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, basically, Bill has a map there in front of him.
You have,
We didn't have enough maps for everybody,
yeah.
but you can see there's a green area there, light green area, and they couldn't provide the property to the left, but they could provide the property to the right, which is even better for us because it gives us 3 more acres, of land that we can use.
So this is good, this is not.
In that area, there's no problems as well. there was never any contamination in that area. So, I mean, that's what they recommended, so there wouldn't be a problem.
It's actually trees.
It's actually trees there, yeah.
Yeah, it's a wooded area.
So the plan is that they're going to try to draft, once everybody agrees to that, and their company, which they don't think is a problem, is to try to draft up a deed for us, you know, for us to consider. Now, one of the problems that they have is they can't assign that deed over to us so that everything is completed, you know, with the EPA and DEP, which is on schedule and it's going very well. But that won't be done prior to town meeting. But we'll wait to go into town meeting knowing exactly what we're gonna get, number one. Number two is they've both agreed to come to town meeting and present to town meeting, you know, what they're doing and what property they're giving us to us. They'll also put it in writing to guarantee that we are gonna get that property, you know,
Once
as
everything
well.
passes.
Right. So that's the staff. So that was good news because the building committee and Bill, you know, they were concerned about the right side of the building, especially truck turn-ins and so forth. So this is gonna make a big difference.
Sure.
Well, right now, the pink area
Pink
is
area
what
is
they agreed to give
What
us.
they agreed to
That's
give us
agreed to give.
originally. The yellow would be in addition
So
to
this was
that.
like 2 acres, wasn't it?
It's just under 3 acres.
Just under 3
yeah.
acres. And then
So it's
what
almost gonna be
what would
double.
the
So
size
that's
of-
almost double,
Double.
3 to 4 more acres.
And you said that one has
That
the
includes
cell
the
tower on it?
surge system in it then.
It includes the sewage system, and it also includes the cell tower.
Yeah.
Which is on the back side of the property, Don. The sewage system's on the back
I
side.
know where it is,
So
yeah.
when you say sewage system, you mean?
That would be
septic?
better.
The septic system, yes.
That would be a lot better.
Yeah.
So we get the cell tower too.
We don't get any money out of it, Bruce.
There's no money in it.
Not while you're alive anyways. Or me.
But if we do own the cell tower, there may be some concerns that we may be able to add some antennas to it, or possibly a carrier for cell phone use.
Is there a gap in that area, do we know? There is?
That, we'd have to do the research on
Research on
that.
that.
But the tower is currently in existence and being used by other carriers, whether or not something that would be feasible, but at least it would be an option for the town if we take possession of that.
Oh, that's good.
So it was a real positive meeting, even though the time frame is a little bit off on us actually accepting and receiving the deed to the property.
Well, I mean, the timeframe of the project itself is that, you know, going to town meeting, once the needs analysis is done, which is somewhere in middle of March timeframe, and then going to town meeting and ask for the funding. By the time we get to that point, and then we have to do the architectural design, which is probably gonna take 3 or 4 months. So by the time we get to construction, it'll be after the first of the year anyways, 2017, so it's not gonna be a problem.
Right.
So we'll be okay.
This is good.
And we, the engineers, the architects have scheduled a tentative, well, not tentative, scheduled a meeting for 2 PM on Friday afternoon. Anybody that would care to attend that. They want to do a site visit, take some more measurements and what have you down at Light Control. And anybody on the committee or anybody.
Is it down there?
Yeah, it'd be a 2 down there, yeah. And,
2 o'clock?
and then we're gonna have a meeting scheduled for the 15th, but we're aware that is the holiday, so we may reschedule it for the 16th, and there is no selectmen's meeting on that night.
Great job. I
Bill,
think
is
the
there-
committee's done one heck of a job. Don't you?
It's very positive. It's probably one of the most positive committees I've been on.
Do we know the value of the land, approximate?
We'd have to check with the assessors in regards to
I
that.
mean, I can get it for you, but.
Yeah, yeah. That may be something, obviously, when the town meeting comes to let people
Sure.
what we're actually getting as an increase to what they've offered us at this point.
Sure.
So it sounds real good. That's all I have to report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Cameron.
Okay, Town Administrator Search Committee. We've held 2 meetings and we've gone through all of the applications as well as all the resumes and checked out the experience of all these people, and we've come up with, I believe, 7 people that we'll be interviewing on the 24th and the 25th. That's what those 2,
I have a question. How many applicants did you get total?
30,
30.
yeah.
How many did you get prior, the last
It
time?
was like 22,
Okay.
so we did get more
So,
than
so
10.
far, that, what we did is working.
Yeah,
Yeah, good, excellent.
and I would say just there's more quality applicants too. I can't say who they are because I'm not allowed to do that under the executive session, but I can say that there were 7 people that we've come up with to interview. And a couple of maybes in case a couple of those people drop out. So we hope to present to the board who the finalists are sometime in early March sometime, maybe first or second week in March, once we come up with our finalists.
Can you tell me if Rich's application was one of the 7?
Who?
I changed
Mr.
my
Lugama?
name. I changed
I'm
my
not
name.
allowed to say that.
You can't, okay.
No.
I just figured I'd ask.
And my age.
So that's all I have to report there, and the final Plymouth County Hospital Reuse Committee.
I had a meeting scheduled for yesterday at 4 o'clock, and due to the inclement weather, it's been postponed until, it'll probably be a week after next week.
Okay, great. So everybody has to get sworn in.
Everybody, well, Bob will have to go get sworn in.
Yeah.
Tentatively, if he's accepted.
Yeah.
But everybody else has all been sworn in, so.
Okay, great. Thanks, Don. Executive session. That concludes the final, the public session. And now I'd look to a motion to go to executive session to discuss strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining session or contract negotiation with non-union personnel. Police chief, we already did that. To discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation, if any open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating positions of a public body, and the chair so declares. This would be the administrative professionals, fire, dispatch, highway, and police unions. Need a motion?
So moved,
Second?
Moved and seconded to enter executive session.
yes.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
I'm in favor.
Okay. We'll be entering, we're now in executive session, and we'll only be coming out of executive session for the purpose of adjourning. Thanks so